Okay, this is a quick video on how to import data from Microsoft Excel with a LatLong into ArcGIS. So I'm going to start with our GIS data for our section. It's got LatLong, state well number, CASGIM ID, a bunch of information here. Across the bottom you'll see GIS data, unknown, monthly snapshot, one sheet, two sheet. So generally, if you're going to bring something in from Excel, get it as cleaned up as is possible in Excel, because it's a little more of a nightmare to deal with in GIS because it's GIS. So for this sample, I'm going to bring in the monthly snapshot stuff. So this represents all of our monthly and snapshot wells that we have information for. And so the big thing is you cannot have this file open and be trying to access it from ArcGIS. In fact, if you've just recently had it open and you had the same folder open that you're trying to reference, it might block you. So you need to make sure it's closed. Generally, I'll save stuff as a separate file, and I'll do a Control-All, Control-Paste type thing. So that way I know there's no equations in here, because I don't want GIS to get confused by that process. So what I mean by that, for example, let's just say I'm going to create a new sheet here, and I'm going to call sheet 3. I'll rename it upload this. Okay, so I'm going to come to monthly snapshot. I'm going to click everything here, and I'm going to do Control Copy, so Control C. Come over here to upload this. Right click on A and you want to do paste values 1, 2, 3. So that puts everything there, but there's no more equations. Alright, I'm going to save this. Desktop cleanup. I'll call this GIS data upload sample. Alright, so I'm going to completely close this. You cannot have it open. I already had ArcGIS open, that's fine. I haven't referenced anything at this point, and it's just a blank screen. I'm going to leave it blank because I want it to incorporate the projection or reference from the data, not from whatever base map I put in. So first I'm going to import this data, then I'll put a base map to kind of verify it's in the right location. So you want to make sure you open your catalog, and you can do that by clicking on the little orange catalog box. Think of a file cabinet. It gives you this. So scroll to wherever you have your data. Mine's under my desktop, so I'm just going to come here. It's on my desktop cleanup folder. And these are all Excel files. So you got a mix of things. You got your folders. These right here are either images or rasters. You have Excel files. It also sometimes, it's always good to make sure it's saved as an XLSX versus an XLSM, which is a macro file, because it doesn't seem to recognize those either. So there's some little caveats to working with Excel and GIS. Alright, so we wanted GIS data upload sample. Okay, so I'm going to expand this. And so we're going to see all of the tables that we have. And you know, we had the original GIS data monthly, sheet 1 snapshot. We have an upload this. I don't know why some have $signs, some don't. Sometimes there's duplicates of the same sheet in this list. I'm not exactly sure why. It just seems to be the way it does things sometimes. So click on it, drag it over, and drop it on your table of contents. If you right click, you can go open, and it'll bring up the table, and you can kind of make sure that yes, this is the table I actually want to look at. So now that I have that, I'm going to right click this, the upload this sheet, and come down to display XY data. So generally it's pretty good at identifying which one's the lat, which one's the long, but your X is the longitude, it's the one that goes all the way around the world, and your lat is the shorter, so it's your Y. And then you don't need to worry about a Z field for this. Now for the coordinate system, Sometimes if you're bringing data into an already existing map, there'll be something here. You're probably going to have to change that. Click on Edit, go to Geographic Coordinate Systems, scroll down to where it says World, and scroll to the bottom, and you have WGS 1984. Okay, click OK. This is going to tell you that the data you had doesn't have a unique object ID. It's just going to create one, that's fine. Alright, so we have a bunch of points here. So I'm going to drop in a base map to make sure it looks right first. So I'm going to go Add, so File, Add Data, Add Base Layer. And base layers in ArcGIS can take a little while. Alright, I'm just going to go with an imagery. But you can select any of those base layers you would like. Alright, so looking at this distribution, this looks like our Napa area, north-south delta. That seems like it's, for the most part, in the right place. So I'm going to now right-click where it says upload this. It created this event. So we have, notice the difference. There's this table, which is the Excel file, and then you have like the checkbox with the symbol. So right-click this, symbol one, go down to Data, Export Data. So we're going to export all features. You could do a selection if you wanted to, or what's an extents, but do all features. And you want to export it to a file personal geodatabase. Now, this is where it gets a little more difficult if you don't understand how a geodatabase works or where to put them. But you can go to a folder. I'm going to create this one. Let me see here. I'll just create it on my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to create a new geodatabase, which is this big, I'm going to call water tank looking thing with an asterisk or star. And I'm going to call this Sample Excel. Okay, so you save your feature class, which is what we're exporting. It's a point feature class, to a geodatabase. A geodatabase is almost like a file for GIS stuff. So I'll call this NCRO Wells and hit OK. It'll ask if you want to add it to your layer, then say yes. So now your two dots cover each other. So you can now right click over the original Excel table and just say remove. You can say remove on the original table that popped up, or the original feature class that popped up before you exported it, and go remove. And if you click back on this list by drawing order, this brings you back to the normal looking table of contents you're used to seeing. Let's see if it'll let me sort some stuff today. So, in theory, if you wanted to, so I'm going to sort this by county real quickly. Sort in ascending. So if I wanted to group all of Placer County, and you could do this by book or by route, I'm going to highlight all of these. Actually, here, I'll stop it there and I'll do a different video for a second. Okay, so that is importing data using ArcGIS and Excel.